Watch out!
I don't know about you guys, but I've never been happier about waiting for a game ever in my life. Usually I'm just counting down the days and hoping to get my hands on it now, but with Pokemon Legends ZA, I don't know. There's something different. Something in my mind telling me they can take all the time they need. While some of you might be dying from the wait, you're in luck because, well, did you know? We can already kind of tell what the game will play like from the teaser trailer. Yeah, I'm not joking. While the trailer makes it clear we're not seeing the actual game footage, you still have to remember that the entire teaser is showing us the concepts that will be brought to life on release. I've covered these tidbits on my channel before via several videos, but I want to specifically condense all of the gameplay mechanics shown off here in one video for you all. So many people missed many of these aspects, so it's time to get you all excited again while you wait for your new Pocket Monster experience to come out. Here is every gameplay mechanic Game Freak accidentally let slip in that trailer. First off, let's start with one of my favorites, cause who else here is a huge fan of Pokemon follow mechanics? If so, did you know that we're going to be able to take all 6 of our Pokemon out in Legends ZA, and they'll be able to follow us? This will be a first in an open Pokemon game. After all, in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, we had 2 ways to take our Pokemon out. We could have one out at a time to follow us, or we could go into a menu and open up Pokemon Picnic, which allowed for all 6 of our friends to come out at once and play. Picnic would unfortunately lock you to a small radius that you couldn't leave, so there really was no way to take out all 6 of our Pokemon and have them follow us around the map. Not that Picnic was a bad mechanic, but there is a smoother way to do this. Conversely, in Pokemon Legends Arceus, we could take all 6 of our Pokemon out at will pretty much anywhere on the map. I called this seamless control over a Pokemon in the overworld the Pokemon Freedom mechanic. And while there are a lot of hidden mechanics associated with this, one thing was blatantly missing. Your Pokemon couldn't follow you. So it looks like in ZA we'll be getting the best of both worlds, and we can see that with an NPC walking around with 5 Sandile and 1 Crocodile. This is similar to how NPCs in Scarlet and Violet would walk around with their Pokemon, but just like our player character, they could only walk around with 1. This time, this NPC has revealed that they, and we, will be able to walk around with all 6 of our Pokemon at once. That's awesome! Next, I quickly want to confirm that the catching mechanic from Legends Arceus is returning, as we witness an NPC throw a Pokeball to catch Dragonair, but he misses. In Scarlet and Violet and every main generational release prior, trainers couldn't miss throws. It's only ever been something our character in Legends could do since we had to manually aim. So this confirms the return of the aiming to catch. You'll also notice Dragonair is swimming in a pattern, much like some flying Pokemon in Legends Arceus, but this pattern is far more complex. So, we'll see more creative catch puzzles than previously seen in Arceus. Let's also divert our eyes to another awesome revelation we can glean from this scene. And no, it's not the giant Gyarados, as cool as he looks swimming in this tiny body of water. It's actually these little yellow dots sprinkled under the water. So many people miss this, but these are Staryu, meaning we're going to have to unlock some way to catch Pokemon from underwater, as Pokeballs have never been able to go underwater in any open Pokemon game. And further proof of this is how the NPC is trying to catch Dragonair when it leaps out of the water. So there are several possibilities for how we'll catch underwater Pokemon. It could be a special Pokeball, perhaps an item we toss in the water to make them rise to the surface, or we might obtain a fishing rod and have some sort of fishing mechanic. Nintendo devs love their fishing mechanics. There's also the possibility that we, ourselves, can go underwater, which would be the best answer to the situation and what I'm hoping for. But I'm also not holding out hope. I do hope our trainer can actually swim this time though, and that we only use our Pokemon to swim faster. Imagine swimming with your Pokemon. That sounds so fun. I would try doing this in Legends Arceus, but my character would drown so quickly. So yeah, swimming would be a clear way to improve that mechanic from Legends Arceus, just saying. Next, let's take a look at this Pokemon on the wall of the building here. It's very high up, so we can deduce that we'll have a way to not only reach this height during gameplay, but simultaneously also have the ability to catch while up this high. Whether it's while scaling the building itself or flying remains to be seen, but I'm happy about the prospect of being able to catch Pokemon while riding Pokemon for Traversal. In Legends Arceus, we could only do this on Basculegion. Now, during this scene where the 2 trainers are duking it out in a battle, these 2 in the back are having a battle of their own, a Heracross and a Pinsir. Mortal enemies. But what's interesting is that this is happening at the same time as the trainer battle. In Scarlet and Violet, we could see wild Pokemon walk up to watch our battles when we were in them. But here, it seems like we won't always be the center of interest for surrounding Pokemon and NPCs. We might see them continue doing their own thing and even start fights of their own at the same time. That's really cool stuff. As for the trainer battle itself, I can't say this for sure, but with how dynamic it looks, I'm wondering if this is hinting at either a dynamic camera for battle, or if battles might actually be animated more lively like this. After all, Legends Arceus was the first mainline game to require Pokemon to run up to each other to hit with physical attacks, so ZA could do some further innovation to battle visuals. However, this is me making a stretch, as this scene is likely just dynamic for excitement purposes for the teaser. Though, at the very least, I really would love a toggle to toggle between a dynamic camera and then the regular battle camera that you control with the analog stick. So let's talk about the different sectors of the city map and how it's divided Final Fantasy style. We know the entire game will take place with Lumiose City, so how will we include different biomes for inhabiting all walks of Pokemon life? Well, there are two possibilities. Either the game will have seasons based on time passing, which is the less likely version, or these sectors might represent different biomes for Pokemon to live in as part of the redevelopment plan. If I remember correctly, the different avenues dividing the sectors are named after seasons, so either of these possibilities are very likely, but the second one seems more possible. We might also experience boss battles in these large circular areas marked within each sector, similar to the noble Pokemon bosses from Legends Arceus. These circles look like fitting arenas for such milestones. Finally, this wasn't shown off in the trailer, but it has been deduced by many fans and myself to be a possibility, and that is how vertical exploration will work in ZA. The game will likely be open air, similar to Legends Arceus and Scarlet Violet, so scaling buildings and flying through the sky is fairly self-explanatory on that front. We'll do so using Pokemon. But the other surprise I think we'll have waiting for us is an underground map. Yeah, many of us are familiar with Paris's real-life history, which is deeply tied to the catacombs that exist beneath. It's very likely that these catacombs are also where Zygarde resides, as he's said to reside in a cave. And this underground area could be homage to Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, which would be fitting, as Legends Arceus has many nods to Breath of the Wild. So an underground area being the catacombs in ZA, much like the depths in Tears of the Kingdom, is very, very likely. There's a whole story to be told with the catacombs in real life, and I have no doubt that will translate to the story of Legends ZA. So, with that being said, I actually have several options for videos I'll link you to between this end screen and in the comment section, so feel free to take your pick. This one in front of you to the right is the story of the catacombs, as well as more analysis on Legends ZA. In the comments, I'll label the videos I have linked, so you take your pick on whatever line of videos you want to follow, as you comment your own thoughts in the comment section. I've been JotoJohnny, and I'll catch you in those other videos.